People, not only did we get this priceless Kurt Angle face, we got a whole family reunion right here. It's Jason Jordan. I'm the Olympic gold medalist and Jason Jordan's puppy. Oh, I know that feeling, bro. Remember when we were kids, wanted to be wrestlers, managers? Well, I have finally realized what I truly want to be. And it's this guy right here. I'm not a McMahon. I'm not a manager, I'm not a general manager, I'm not a COO, but people listen to me. What even is this guy? Why is the whole roster listening to him? And obviously people want me to talk about this stuff right here, and I don't have a strong opinion, but I'll talk about that in a second. Believe it or not, a very controversial segment. Welcome everybody to a brand new episode of Greatness of SmackDown. How are you guys doing today? So, let's talk about SmackDown. The show kicked off in a very different way. Renee Young says a man dressed in a black shirt and black pants was involved in an accident and Elias is now being taken by medics. A police officer finds out that it's Jeff Hardy's rental car.
I don't know what happened right here. I saw a man running over Elias. I don't know what it was, man. I was shocked. But I'm pretty sure the man will love to get these hands. Now let me play with myself.
Let's just say Braun Strowman hopes that they will find out who did this. Then we see Jeff Hardy struggling to get up. He smells like alcohol, the same type that was in the car. And obviously they accuse Jeff Hardy of doing this. He seems confused, beaten up, and that's how the show kicked off. I mean, it was so obvious that Jeff Hardy didn't do this. You know, it's so obvious. And, okay. First of all, before I give you my opinion, what about some little speculation? What about some predictions? Who did this? Now, the obvious answer is probably Sheamus, but maybe it's not Sheamus. I have two very strong predictions. It's either the hacker or Mae Young's hand. Finally making that debut, you know, tired of being overlooked. But in all seriousness, it's obviously Sheamus or AJ Styles, you know, he benefited from this. The thing is, people are finding this segment offensive because, you know, it's his real life involved in a segment. You know, he struggled with this a lot in his life, and obviously people think there's a problem. But I'm pretty sure he's comfortable doing this, and that's not the problem I have. You know, you have Jeff Hardy. There's so much more stuff you could do with Jeff Hardy. So much more. This was unnecessary, let's just say that. That's like giving another singles run to The Rock and focusing on some weird stuff he did back in the day instead of The Rock. You know, there's so much stuff you could do with Jeff Hardy. And then we see the SmackDown roster arguing. Obviously, Daniel Bryan was supposed to face Jeff Hardy in the semifinals, and AJ Styles was supposed to face Elias in the semifinals. Both cannot compete. AJ Styles says, you know what, I don't want to have a match, I want to be in the finals. And this dude, who's apparently a general manager at this point, says, okay AJ, okay, but Daniel Bryan is a good guy, he wants to have a match. But then, all of a sudden, everybody wants to have a match against Daniel Bryan. Sheamus, Cesaro, Shinsuke, Ziggler, Chad Gable, I think. Everyone wants to have that opportunity. So the bald guy said, you know what, let's have a battle royal. The winner of the battle royal faces Daniel Bryan, and then in 2 weeks AJ Styles for the Intercontinental Championship. Which is fine, you know, obviously I love tournaments the way they are, but they, you know, switched some things up, made it a little bit more interesting. And I really hope it's not Sheamus who did this. Obviously, we have this rivalry. Jeff Hardy is going to accuse Sheamus. But then again, would it make sense if it wasn't Sheamus? I mean, Jeff Hardy saw this happening. Or maybe he was attacked from behind. I don't know. The thing is, I really hope it's AJ Styles because imagine this rivalry. AJ versus Jeff Hardy. And now we have, you know, the seed planted. I really hope that's the case, but you never know. And that's when we got the Battle Royal. King Corbin, Shorty G, Drew Gulak, Jey Uso, Dolph Ziggler, Shinsuke Nakamura, Sheamus, Lindsay Dorado, Grand Metalik, and Cesaro. And the match was actually pretty good. Pretty entertaining for a Battle Royal, you know. Surprisingly, the last men standing were Sheamus and Jimmy Uso. For a second, I thought Jimmy is actually going to win this, but we got a big bro kick and Sheamus advances. So it's going to be Sheamus versus Daniel Bryan in the main event. So, obviously, it would make sense for Sheamus to be the attacker. And I think, I'm 90% sure he is. And he benefits from this, obviously. He got what he wants. He is in the Intercontinental Championship tournament right now. But I really hope it's just a coincidence, He really didn't attack Jeff Hardy. We got an argument between Shorty G and Cesaro. Shorty G says he was robbed. Cesaro challenges him to a match and Shorty G accepts. That's when we got Lacey Evans versus Sonya Deville. I felt like lately WWE did a pretty decent job with the women, We always got the same 4 horsewomen, and now they're using Lacey Evans, they're using Sonya Deville, Mandy Rose, but it ended in a double countout. After the bell, they keep fighting, but Sonya Deville picks up a headset and says she will fight Evans on her own terms. So I guess it means that Otis and Mandy versus Ziggler and Sonya Deville is over. Finally, I'm still not feeling this faction. Then we got a moment of bliss. And the special guests were The New Day. We got some very interesting presents, and I'm sure Nikki and Alexa were thrilled about it. The New Day were talking about all the tag teams, but then we got Bayley and Sasha Banks. Interesting attires, by the way. I don't know, I guess I like it. Obviously, they argue with Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross. Alexa says, I see 5 champions right here. What about you, Sasha? Bayley calls Alexa Bliss Charlotte Jr. And then, of course, we got a big brawl. This turned into Sasha Banks versus Alexa Bliss. Imagine Twitter right now. The worst part of wrestling Twitter, in my opinion at least, and I'm nothing against Sasha Banks and Alexa Bliss. That's not the point I'm trying to make. The fans. You have this Sasha Banks fan community and you have Alexa Bliss community. And they have, avatars of Sasha Banks or Alexa Bliss. And it's the worst thing you could ever imagine. It's people arguing who's better and who's worse. I don't get this. How should I say this? I don't get it when people act like celebrities are these gods, They're just people and it's weird when you act this way. Anyway, so that was another decent match on the show. Alexa Bliss got distracted and that's how Sasha Banks won the match. So we got Cesaro versus Shorty G. 2 great wrestlers, fun to watch. And surprisingly, Shorty G wins. Now when it comes to Shorty G or Chad Gable, I guess he's not the hacker if he already made the return, so it must be Ali. We all want CM Punk, it's not gonna happen, probably. So, it's the most obvious scenario. It's going to be Ali, and nothing against the guy, I actually like him. He's a great wrestler, fun to watch. But I expected something a bit more shocky, a bit more spicy. We got a pretty funny video of Mandy and Otis. They're having a day at the pool. Mandy Rose falls asleep and she imagines Otis as this sexy guy, but nothing really changed. That's how she likes it. Then Otis wakes her up and they start kissing like in real life. And obviously, that doesn't make any sense if she's dreaming and we're seeing it, but that's wrestling, At this point, we should not care. It didn't make any sense, but whatever. Are they a couple in real life? That is my question. I have no idea. Do you guys still believe that Otis is actually going to cash in? At this point, maybe. They care about the guy. I just don't imagine him as a WWE champion. Not that I don't want to see that. I'm okay with it. I don't care. But I don't imagine WWE actually doing this. WWE Hall of Famer Kurt Angle says that Matt Riddle is coming to SmackDown. I have mixed feelings about Matt Riddle. He's funny, he can be funny, but I don't get the hype as much as other people do. Let's just say that. And then we got the main event, Sheamus versus Daniel Bryan, semifinals for the WWE Intercontinental Title Tournament. If you remember, this is actually a WrestleMania rematch, 18 seconds, people. So that was a pretty long match, and by the end of it, we saw Jeff Hardy interfering. Obviously, Sheamus got distracted, we got a flying knee, and Daniel Bryan advances. He's going to the finals. Then we got a brawl between Jeff Hardy and Sheamus, and it seems like Jeff Hardy is accusing Sheamus of doing this. Whether he knows that or not, we're not sure. So that was your SmackDown. I gotta say, a good show. I even got used to the crowd. It's still a bit silly. It seems a bit too fake in my opinion. I wish they were a bit more natural, but it's still pretty good. I believe they did a better job than on Monday Night Raw. And like I've said, a decent show. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you for watching. The Great One, peace, love, and hugs. It's been a pleasure.